Those strong bands are also hitting CBS 12's Michael Buchner.
He is live for us tonight in Port Salerno. What are you feeling there, Michael?
Yeah, I can tell you we've felt it within about the last 10 minutes or so. As we just heard Jeff say, gusts here perhaps up to 60 miles an hour within the last 10 minutes. As I said, the conditions rapidly falling apart here. You can see the camera. It's even difficult for it to hold still. You can feel the winds just blowing in here. And when you stand into the wind, it feels like someone's even throwing rocks into your face. Just to give you an idea, I want to show you this tree. Look at the intensity here of the wind just cutting right through this palm tree here. The big concern here is, of course, not only this wind, but the concern also is about the storm surge. Keep in mind, the tide is on the way out here. We're not even near high tide where we are here in Port Salerno, but yet look at this water about to top over the docks here at these restaurants. Even where we're standing here, you can see it's just off the seawall by maybe a couple of feet or so. And with that storm surge, that could be several feet, this area is prone to flooding.
Wow, look at that.
So let's just watch this for a second as we can be your eyes for Port Salerno for sure tonight.
Well, this is something that all of us, most of us, not, in Boca or anything, but, a lot of us are going to be experiencing through the night. This is what it's going to look like, and it's just beginning. And, of course, for those of us in the northern part of Palm Beach County and on the Treasure Coast, the gusts are going to be higher than 67 miles per hour.
Yeah, in fact, that area is forecast to get winds gusting probably 90 miles an hour or more by morning, or actually, excuse me, not by morning, through the morning, but as we go overnight. And when we see those flashes, Jeff, are those flashes that we're catching on the radar, or
lightning?
are they lightning, or those transmitters that we're losing?
Honestly, I have not seen much of any lightning, John, so probably they were transits.
That's power outages.
Yeah.
We're also in touch with FPNL, Florida Power and Light, and we know where the power outages are as they continue to trickle down on the radar and trickle into the picture there as we continue to go on. Somebody's out in that storm, Liz.
Yeah, at some point we're not going to be able to have these live pictures. It won't be safe to be outside.
Sure.
You know what? We do have Michael Buchner.
Okay,
he can talk to us now. Right. He was only listening to us before.
Michael, can you talk to us? Michael can probably hardly hear us.
Hey, I hear you guys.
All right, you're in a safe place.
I hear you. We're actually... No, we definitely are. I can tell you, we've been here all day in Port Salerno. We're actually in a breezeway here. I don't know if Wally wants to pan away for a second here. We found cover here. This is a laundry room. You have the water there, and then this is the back side of the building. About 15 minutes ago or so, Jeff Biradelli talked about this band that was going to come through here, and sure enough, about a minute or two after he said it, we heard it. Let me take you back outside here. It came through here, and it was literally roaring. You can see it's kind of subsiding just a little bit. On the other side, on the intracoastal side, let me see if we can walk through this breezeway, Wally, if you want. We came in here to get cover because we were actually sitting in the car waiting to do our next shot just because of the conditions, and it got really bad. So we came here. It's died down a lot, but I can tell you what, there was a mist that was literally on top of the water here. You couldn't see across the intracoastal here, and there was this mist almost that was through the air. I stepped outside for a second, and it just felt like someone was pounding you with rocks.
CBS 12's Michael Buchner is in downtown Stuart, where it has been getting progressively worse throughout the night. Michael, what are you seeing now?
Yeah, Liz, we're underneath the Roosevelt Bridge. You think you'd come here and find some refuge from this storm, but as you can tell, it's absolutely anything but that. This storm is just blowing in here as hard as you can believe. I'm standing here. I'm a large person. I weigh more than 200 pounds, and this storm is pushing me. These winds are blowing me around. We're standing out here. You could hear the wind. It's very intense. The water also is very high. The concern, of course, of this surge and what it could mean. High tide doesn't come until early tomorrow morning. So just imagine when that tide comes rushing in along with that surge. Where I'm standing right now, we probably will not be able to stand because of the water that will fill this area and most likely flood this area. On top of that, I could tell you guys that we've seen a lot of transformers exploding. The sky is lighting up in that greenish, almost purplish color. I could tell you about 5 minutes ago, off in the distance over there, we saw a couple of them go off. Obviously, when that happens, people are losing power, but for the most part, driving around, most people seem to have the power on, which is of course a very good thing. Of course, this area where we're standing right now, there are lights on, and when you look across the other side of the St. Lucie River, you can see in the distance, I don't know if you can, it's very dark, but there are lights on out there. And that of course is a good thing and means that these people have power. But the big concern, of course, not only this wind, but what this storm surge will bring when this storm gets a lot closer here. This river has been turned into an ocean. As my colleague Chuck Weber was reporting from Phil Foster Park, he's experiencing the same things.
He is live in Palm City tonight, where the wind and the rain continue to ramp up in his conditions there. Michael?
Yeah, I can tell you minute by minute things just get a lot worse. The wind gets a little more intense and the rain picks up, although the rain can come and go depending on the band. We're live here at Layton Park. We were here about 15 minutes ago. We showed you some pictures. I can tell you it seems like the water is starting to rise here slowly but surely. You can see this debris that's here, which indicates that obviously the tide at some point is going to begin to come in. But this is the Palm City Bridge here that you're taking a look at. You can see the sheets of rain that are just continuing to blow across this area, and it's going to be a long night. There you go, you're seeing a transformer there. That's that glow we've been talking about off in the distance. You see these transformers explode. You just saw one right there live on television. But it's going to be a long night for these folks, as Jeff Berardelli was just talking about. As you could imagine, it's tough conditions right now that these folks are dealing with here. Just imagine what happens in a couple hours as Hurricane Matthew gets closer. Here at Layton Park, we came to this boat ramp here. We pulled up our vehicle so we could have some light. And as you can see, the water already, I'm going to walk onto it here. The water, you can see already cresting over the front of this boat ramp. I'm not going to go any further because it's definitely not safe out there. This thing is already rocking, but this water, as you can tell, is already beginning to make its way here. The surge is already being felt here, and when high tide comes here in several hours, of course, it is going to have, in some places, it could have a catastrophic effect. You know, we spent the day in Port Salerno, and those folks there told me that they're scared because in the past when they get storms or they get a lot of rain, that these surges bring a lot of water and they can flood homes quite easily. You can see the water here is just extreme. There's another flash. You can see them right there happening. Yeah, look at that. The water, the St. Lucie River, this is moving like nothing I've ever seen before. It is moving at a fast pace. Looks like an ocean. It looks like almost the Colorado River, if you will, near the rapids. We're here now. Eventually, we're going to have to go over to our hotel where it's a lot safer. But we want to bring you these pictures until it's not safe any longer to kind of give you some perspective here as to what this storm's doing. It looks like another band may be coming through, and I don't know, Wally, if it's possible to zoom in on those lights along the Palm City Bridge here, but I mean, if you guys can see at home, it's just sheets of rain. We're, as I said, in a shopping center here along the Canner Highway, and this stuff is blowing. It's blowing really hard and really fast, and you know, it makes that noise. You can almost hear it, and you can see it like this. It's coming and going. I think this is a good example of it. Let me see if you can listen to it. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's really mean. There's a lot of strength to it. You can see there's pieces of palm tree spread out all over this parking lot here. And again, we're here for our own protection. It was just simply too dangerous to be out. We were last at Port Salerno. I can tell you, driving here, we saw several downed trees. Martin County deputies out here on the road tonight, making sure people are safe out there driving with their lights on.